to get to where you believe you need to be is not just to know where you are going, but it is to know where you have been. And so this message has made it to you for all the right reasons, because you, regardless of who you are, what decade of your life you might be in, what season and cycle, what up, down, left, or right, you have an opportunity, and you will either take full advantage of that opportunity, or you will miss it, or even worse, someone or something will tell you you were just not ready. And so my mission, my goal, and my aim for today, as we work on doing you and becoming the number one priority in your life, always is to talk through your opportunities and ensure you don't miss them when they come for you. And the inspiration for this topic, aside from the obviousness of not missing an opportunity, came to me because I received a phone call recently from someone who I hadn't spoken to in a while. And I'll get to some context around those types of calls and why I think you should ignore them in a minute. But this was someone that I knew I needed to speak to, and someone who deserved a conversation from me. And in this conversation, this person begins to explain how they're going through some things professionally. And because I have the type of experience I have professionally with people and change and growth and organizations and building and team construction and all that, they wanted my advice. Very simple and plain. Jeff, my company's going through a massive transition. And in this transition, they're going to change up the entire organizational structure of my group. And because of that, there are new positions opening that could elevate me. What do you think I should do to ensure that I receive one of those positions? One of those elevated positions with more authority, with more money, because we know that's a motivating factor, with more visibility, ultimately with more accountability, which some of us seem to miss in our desire for more power. My response was as simple and plain as the question. You should do nothing. And this person was stunned, flabbergasted, couldn't fathom that could be my response. Jeff, what do you mean? All these years of experience, you yourself have taken advantage of a plethora of opportunities, because I've done this over and over, and it's very fruitful, and it feels very good, and that opportunity is just fantabulous. What did you do? Well, in this specific scenario, when the opportunity specifically is they are now creating a new org, they are now opening new positions, they are now presenting room for growth, there's nothing you can no longer do. The opportunity for you to grow, for you to assume, ascend, and become entitled, what it is you believe you should become entitled, those decisions are made. When the organization decided, hey, we're going to make this move, we're going to expand out, we're going to scale, for whatever the reason, whether it's new investors and new investments, whether it's mergers and acquisitions, there are a litany of reasons why a company would grow. But when the opportunity that you see is presented to you, the opportunity you think is available to you has already moved and gone. Those decisions to fill, to make, to ascend and transition are made real time. It's not like, hey, new position, we need new managers, directors, vice presidents, whatever it is. When those positions are presented, the opportunity for you to take one is already gone. In that, they make these decisions about how to be strategic and tactical based on what they already know is available to them. And you, in your current position, in real time, when you decide to raise your hand and say, oh, pick me, pick me, pick me, they're not looking at you right then and there. They have already evaluated you. You have already been presented opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to prove your value and worth. And the reality to that is this: you already have a grade, you already have a ceiling, inclusive of, if they don't believe you have a ceiling, they already have a rank for you. They already know where you're going. And so you trying to position, posture, and present yourself in real time does nothing for you. In fact, it actually shows your ignorance, your immaturity, and your lack of understanding of how process works. Because now you believe, and in this specific situation, there's about a half dozen moves they're making. So imagine that there's 6 different positions by itself they have to fill, and you want to present yourself individually while this other individual is responsible for making 5 other decisions outside of you. And that those decisions, to make those even half dozen decisions, require another half dozen, which require another half dozen. This is bigger than that moment. The opportunity you see in front of yourself had been built and was being built over the course of time. And maybe it was a few months, maybe it was a year, whatever it was. You had to have seen it in the everyday before the everyday presented itself. So now it's lost. And you could go to your superior, say, hey, I want this role. See what they tell you. At minimum, they'll tell you no, it's going to hurt. But what you could do strategically is set yourself up for the future. Hey, look, fine, I'm not ready right now, but I'd like you to know that if this opportunity presents itself in the next 6, 12, 18, 24 months, as long as I'm here, I want to be seen for growth. That's probably the best you can do out of that situation. So what is the message? What is the message? Like with this phone call, the in order to be opportunistic about your opportunity and bear the fruit, you can't present yourself when it's needed. And why I said I almost didn't pick the phone call up is relationally, spiritually, emotionally with people. For you to call me only when you need me, what does that say about you when you don't need me? You feel what I'm saying? How you behave when you don't need me tells me everything about who you are, what you're about, and what you're made of. And then what you do when you do need me further confirms what I believed you were about, made of, and ultimately who you are as a person. And so in all aspects of life, waiting until it's an obvious need as opposed to behaving regularly as an opportunistic person, as someone who is dedicated, driven, and committed, as a person who would do as they needed when they don't need, that is everything you must do to take full advantage of your opportunity. It is why I specifically have shrunk my circle. It is why I keep very close people around me, because the reality to this is this: I need every day. I need every day. I need someone to say, hey, I love you. I need to tell someone I love you. I need a hug. I need some affection. I need some real human interaction. I need deep emotional bond. I need structure. I need to just be able to have a disciplined routine around my physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, professional realms. And the people who help me on the day-to-day are the people I help in the short, medium, and long, in the small, the mundane, and in the big. What it comes down to is this: people who are looking for massive opportunity, who only jump when something appears to be available, are prioritizing a micro view and are looking for, a macro view, a wide, broad macro view. And I gave it away. You're missing the micro. This is why the details are preached. This is why consistency and routine is preached, because it is in the day-to-day that you prove when you are ready able, and possible to assume the opportunity being presented to you. And that's what it is. God, universe, and spirit, they're cooking, generating, and creating opportunities by the micro moment. The only way to be ready is to be opportunistic in every single moment. Raise your hand for yourself every day. Be a priority for yourself every day. Change your mind, change your life. I am who I say I am. Do you and stay rich.